In this section you will learn how to write the aim and the objectives.
There is the aim and the objectives. The aim must reflect the essence of the statement of the problem and the idea expressed by the title of the research project. The aim expresses the result that is expected. The objectives are the guidelines of the whole study and one should keep them present throughout the research. The objectives should be clear and precise to avoid confusion or deviations and should be written beginning with a verb in the infinitive form. The aim tries to find a solution to the problem statement. To determine the aim, one must visualize on one end the problem and on the other end the solution.
Then you have to write the objectives. They are like the milestones in a project that are established and represent what one has to do to get from P to S in sequential order. They explain what you plan to do to tackle your research problem, why you plan to do it that way, and how you are going to do it. In the example, you cannot skip a semester or semesters.
Objectives should be SMART. Specific, be precise about what you are going to do. Measurable, specify an indicator for success, so that you will know when you have reached your goal. Achievable, a less ambitious but completed objective is better than an over-ambitious one that you cannot possibly achieve. Realistic, do you have the necessary resources to achieve the objective? Time constrained, determine when each stage needs to be completed.
After the milestones, the activities should be determined.
The objectives start with a verb in the infinitive form and contain the what for, milestone, and how, the activities. The milestones contain the activities and sub-activities and both will be included in the Gantt chart. If an objective is not included in the Gantt chart, the objective will never be achieved, or in other words, it means that the objective is not necessary.
One common error is that many people include the literature review in the Gantt chart. Remember, the objectives are the ones that are included in the Gantt chart. The literature review has to be done before writing the research proposal because you have to determine the research gap and what others have done related to the problem statement in your proposal. Other common error is that the objectives are not included in the Gantt chart.
The objectives are included in the research proposal in the order in which they were included in the Gantt chart and must reflect an interdependency to achieve the aim. As with the objectives, during the research, the original questions can be adapted or new ones can be added. The objectives always begin with a verb in an infinitive form. Some verbs taken from Bloom's taxonomy that can be used for writing objectives are to determine, to identify, to evaluate, to describe, to formulate, to verify, to design, to elaborate.
Some other verbs that can be used for writing objectives are to analyze, to define, to know, to study, to corroborate, to propose, to develop.
Example of an aim: to find out which are the factors that cause broken refreshment glass bottles in the company X to reduce economic losses. This aim implies that it is necessary to find cases in which the bottles break, identify in what place the bottles break and the frequency in which they break, determine the reasons why the bottles break to reduce the economic losses.
Now it's your turn.
Answer these questions. You are going to record yourself answering these questions. You are going to record the synthetic voice and your voice as if it were a conversation. You have from 30 to 40 seconds to answer. Give complete answers. Give reasons. Use all the time you need to answer. Don't stop speaking. The file type you submit to your teacher must be MP3. If you need more time, stop this video and record your answer, then resume this video and continue with your recording.
You are going to practice several times answering these questions. When you think you are ready, record yourself with the speech-to-text microphone in WhatsApp in your cell phone. If it shows the words that you are saying, then your pronunciation is correct. If not, check your pronunciation. Find a voice synthesis application so that you copy and paste what you are trying to say and listen to how the words are pronounced, then try again until you pronounce correctly. When you are able to pronounce correctly, then record the questions and your answers using your cell phone and submit it to your teacher.
1. Escucha las preguntas primero. 2. Escribe tus respuestas. 3. Practica leyendo tus respuestas con tu celular en el modo de voz a texto para que verifiques que se escriben correctamente las palabras que dices. También puedes usar otro programa de reconocimiento de voz o de dictado. 4. Cuando pronuncies bien, graba la conversación. Si pronuncias mal, no envíes tu archivo hasta que lo hagas correctamente.
What is an aim? How are objectives in a research proposal similar to milestones in a project? Why do objectives have to be written in sequence of execution? How do the objectives have to be written? Can an objective be excluded from the Gantt chart?
This is the end of the session. See you in our next Hands on the Writing a Research Proposal Flipped Classroom session.